Hello, boys and girls and everyone in between and beyond. Can't believe we're doing this again. You remember last time, right? Yeah, I thought so. You know what I mean. It's the anti-60s. If you were there, you'll never forget it. And I'd just like to take this opportunity. As he talks, he walks the stage left to right, possessing it, taking it over while the boys get themselves sorted behind him. This is the best bit, before a note has been played as the audience quieten down and expectations are high. Hope fills the air. It used to be cigarette smoke. He misses those days. When he bends to look the audience in the eye, he feels his knees crack. It hurts. Later, perhaps, when the adrenaline has its magical effect, he might be able to bend those knees, pull some shapes, stick his arse out, kick a leg up and not feel it until after the show. But right now, he's feeling it. Who are these people? Retreating behind the smile, the frank gaze, his famous charisma, he takes a look. Could you call them a crowd? A group of people. He daren't count them. What if it's less than 10? They are his age and one or two a bit younger, and literally just the one genuine, fresh-faced young adult. That's probably where all the hope is coming from. The women are outnumbered 3 to 1. Girlfriends, partners, wives, apart from Joe. Dependable Joe. Keeping the flame alive, Joe who he had saved from the drummer. Not this drummer, a previous one. She was messy drunk and the drummer was about to take her to a cupboard. He had intervened, inserted himself, and Joe had hung on to him, gazing up, bright-eyed, as if he had rescued her from a suicide attempt, until it became apparent he wasn't interested in her. Of course, Joe went off to find the drummer and they disappeared backstage, if you can call a corridor next to a storeroom behind a bar in a pub backstage. She forgave him and adjusted their relationship. No longer a super fan, more a loyal supporter, as if the band was a kids' football team or a jumble sale, appreciative but no longer infatuated. There she was, sitting at a table off to one side. He catches her eye. She smiles and gives a small thumbs up. The ex-drummer sits beside her on his second pint. He leans and speaks into her ear. She pretends shock and bats him on his shoulder. He's being wicked and funny. He's talking about his former bandmate, the lead singer. The drummer is talking about him. Are we doing this thing? It's the bass player. He's got to get up in the morning. It's a school night and there's a commute and a long day managing something somewhere tomorrow. He's not sure where or what. Maybe he should ask him one of these days. He grins at the bass player and takes up his Telecaster left casually on the floor in front of the Marshall combo. Straps it on. The guitar sits snug in the hollow between his hip and his groin. He's a gunslinger. He's ready for action. Stroking the volume knob up to almost maximum. Leave a little for later. The first chords. Hold on! It's the lead guitarist. He hasn't finished tuning up. Fuck tuning up, man. He pushes on, repeating the intro chords. The rest of the band are watching and waiting for the lead guitarist. He walks in front of them, ignoring them. The show's started. Strumming the same 2 chords. Building the tension. When the band come in behind him, he is shifted, almost bodily, lifted, shifted, picked up and pushed, grabbed and wrenched and shoved, the kind of gut-churning lurch you get from an aeroplane dropping suddenly, but it's internal. His feet remain planted on the stage, his hands on his guitar. He's there, but sort of... Where is he? He's not floating. He's not watching himself from above. Something else. He's not in the crowd. He hasn't left the room. Somewhere else. Somewhere inside himself. He sings. The words ring clear. He sounds good, but he is not near the sound. Even though his ears are right next to his mouth, he could be listening through a pillow. No, that's not right. It's not muffled. What then? Observing, paying attention as the stage him, the one holding the guitar, gets through the song, smiles wryly, winks at Joe, mimes fuck off to the drummer, counts off the next song, trying to work it out. Strangely, not panicking at all. What does this remind him of? School, when the fire alarm went, when he broke the fire alarm and it was so much louder than he was expecting, and he could hear chairs scraping, teachers shouting, footsteps, all the noise of school buried beneath the wailing. Or when the smoke alarm goes off at home because it's stupidly sensitive. So sensitive it thinks steam is smoke. And his partner Dev shouts at him, "Get a towel!" And he hears her, but is stunned by the frequencies, the volume, so she rushes into their bedroom and digs out a towel from the cupboard and waves it under the alarm until it stops, while he stands there, naked, apart from his own towel, staring stupidly at the stupid smoke alarm. Must be tinnitus. How do you say tinnitus? Tinnitus. They're on the third song, as usual, with a segue between the preceding tune of noisy guitar and thrashing cymbals. A moment when things are meant to lift, when the audience at the very least look up to see what's creating all this energy on stage. The music recedes further, replaced completely by a high drum. Feedback? No, this isn't the monitors or the lead guitarist. How is it possible that he is still playing, performing, getting through the song when he can't even hear it? What is that sound? It's getting louder. The audience, a few heads nodding, the most enthusiastic is that young guy. He seems to be standing next to his dad. Him, just there. That's it. Yeah. I'm talking about you. And your dad, you resemble each other in your ears and nose and floppy black hair, but your dad's hair is receding. And really? Yep, the bloke's dyed it. So obvious, or is it? Maybe he's got genetically very dark hair and it just looks odd above his aging face. Wouldn't like to say, or judge. Who is he to judge? He's an old fucker standing on a stage playing electric guitar to a handful of people, singing songs written when a mobile phone was a trim phone. An old fucker on stage in ragged, skinny jeans, his bony, knackered knees poking through, wearing an equally knackered, Iggy Pop t-shirt, sunken cheeks, stuck in the inhale position from the Marlboros he used to smoke. Thinning hair, shimmied around with his fingers to cover the pale skin beneath, strumming away at his guitar with hands no longer strong enough to hold a full bar chord or play eights on the downstroke. Somehow it's the fifth song, halfway, but all he can hear are the oscillating drums. How is this possible? Perhaps it's just such a familiar route, like going to the same shop on the corner for 30 years, somewhere that has his fags and a 4-pack of Red Stripe waiting for him as he walks in. So many gigs, the same songs, the same stage, the same audience. Someone has walked up close to the stage, a man in his late 50s, hands in the pockets of his jeans, staring up and then down at his feet, then back up at the band, jigging. There was a time when he would have been joined by a pack of blokes, arm in arm, pogoing, kicking around, singing along with the chorus. What is the chorus? Here we go. And you never, ever let it go. He remembers the chorus and feels like singing along himself, but then remembers that he would be singing along with himself, and that would be, well, impossible or something. Suddenly, it's the end. He can tell the music has stopped because Joey's there next to the pockets guy, clapping. The audience are all politely clapping. Those leaning on the bar turn around to order. The young guy is looking at his mobile, and so is his dad. Sliding his guitar off his shoulder, dropping it casually on the floor, he realizes that the drones have stopped. He's back from wherever he had gone. Carefully he jumps off the stage. The young guy, patting him on the shoulder, smiling, nodding. Great gig.